Alright. Okay, let's see here. Gotta get this crap off here. Alright. Alright, it's been a while since I've been on here, but I figured I'd get back on here. Because, you know something? Well, some people has been talking to me, telling me how I shouldn't broadcast anything. So I should watch what I say because, oh, bigger wigs can take me down, you might say. Kind of like the mafia. Sounds like a socialist censorship job, if you ask me. But no, these were prominent individuals, but I won't say who, because I don't mention names. But I just will say that according to the First Amendment, and I got it right here in black and white, and I looked this up. I keep a copy handy, not because I can't totally remember things, but there's a lot of detail to this, and yeah, I don't remember everything like I once did when I was younger. But anyway, this is Big Head Red's American Dream, or Fraley's World Insight blog, whichever one you want to call it. I call it Fraley's World Insight blog now, but it's concerning the populist revolution, which Trump is, and who we all agreed to as our leader now. Some dim witocrats don't like it, but it's the way it is. Anyway, to what I was talking about, it says here, the First Amendment prohibits the making of any law respecting the establishment of religion, impeding the free exercise of religion, abridging the freedom of speech, infringing on the freedom of the press, interfering with the right to peacefully assemble, or prohibiting the petitioning for a governmental redress of grievances. So, according to this, and our forefathers wrote this, my friends, and I have the right to say pretty much what I want, so long as I don't overstep my bounds, you might say, overdo it. I respect the other individuals' rights to give their opinion on any subject, but I also have an opinion too. They don't have the right to stop me from what I'm saying. I'm going to say, but I'm not going to say anything that's not true. It may be politically incorrect to some people simply because that's their goal. The dim witocrats and anybody on the left, they want to impede and abolish this amendment. But it's not going to happen here. And I got a feeling it's not going to happen anywhere in the United States. Now, if you want to impede this and you don't like the way things are over here, go to Russia and live. Go to Cuba and live. I've heard a lot of people in America even say they like Cuban, including Colin Kaepernick, whatever his freaking name is, that football player that can't get a job now because, well, truthfully, he's not that good anyway anymore because they figured him out. But anyway, according to this, I have the right to do and say what I please, so long as I don't, and I respect boundaries and everything, of course, and I think you got to set boundaries because profanity is, to me, it's just not. It's not right. I don't think we should go that far. Now, I may say a few words that are some words, but for the most part, I don't use profanity within reason, if you know what I mean. I might use the word hell or something like that, but I mean, I don't go to the extreme. But anyway, let's get on to what I want to talk about tonight. I wanted to talk about DACA a little bit, maybe explain what it is, but first I'm going to start off running the Democrats down. Now, the DACA is supposed to end tomorrow unless they come up with some kind of deal between the Democrats and the Republicans and in the legislature, or the House and the Senate, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't think the Democrats are willing to compromise on anything because they don't want to see the Democrats, the Democrats don't want to see the Republicans get an upper hand. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Republicans have agreed to let these dreamers or creamers, screamers, or whatever you want to call them. Excuse me, maybe I shouldn't have went that far. Maybe that's going to, I apologize for that. Maybe that's going a little bit too far. They can't help it because they're over here. From what I've read and have heard on other talk shows and stuff, these are people that are, it was meant for people 16 and under who came over here by no fault of their own, but their parents actually brought them over here, and it wasn't their choice to come over here. They were brought over here by their parents, so can't hardly blame them for that. And at one time there were like 700,000 of these. Now Trump has agreed to bump that number up to 1.5 million or something like that, somewhere in there. You can look that number up if you want to, but that's what it is. But anyway, them Democrats are delusional. I mean, they won't even compromise even on the behalf of these people. They don't really care about these people. You know what they care about? They want these people over here so they can get more voters. They're actually wanting to use the dreamers. They get them in here and then they'll have even more voters to vote for them in the elections and stuff, which this is crazy. I mean, so if you are one of the dreamers out there, don't think that the Democrats are on your side, because they're not. They're just using you. They just want your vote, and Trump's willing to let. I mean, he knows it's not your fault you're over here, so he's willing to let bygones be bygones. But now, as far as bringing in your relatives and things like that, now that's going to the extreme. That's going too far. You need to be glad you got to come in over here and come into a better way of life. I mean, nobody owes you that way of life. I mean, it's guaranteed to you as long as you what's the word, come into our society and our way of life. Man, I don't mean when we play the Pledge of Allegiance you got to stand up to it and take the pledge. Now, I know I'm not saying all of you, but I mean there are some that just stand back and disrespect the flag and still expect the benefits of the country. And that's not right. They shouldn't be over here if they're like that. Now, let's talk some more about these Democrats. They're loony, delusional, and not even human at times. Sometimes it makes you wonder. All of this stuff is for their own needs. I mean, don't let me. I'm not going to run down. I'm going to let somebody that is well respected in America and in a lot of countries overseas and throughout the world. World famous man. Probably one of the most famous comedians of all time. Yeah, I know you're going to say another one of these oddball comedians, but no, this is a well-respected comedian. He is he's he's died now, but he's respected all over the world, not for just being funny, but because he has morals too. He's a real moral person, and I'll just let this guy explain to you about what a Democrat or a Democrat really is. I'm gonna let you watch this. I'm gonna run this back real fast, of course, but turn the speaker up here. Okay, let's listen to this and see what a Democrat or Democrat really is.
You live here? Yes. Well, maybe you know what a zombie is. When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes.
Let me start this
orders,
over.
Not knowing what they do, not caring. You mean like Democrats?
Excuse me while I start this over just a second. Let me get this on the right channel here. Well, I don't have this on the right channel, do I? If you'll give me a second, I'll try to get it on the right channel. How's that? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's gonna take me a second here. I made a little boo-boo here, but I'll get it over there. Let's see if I have it on one of these other ones. Let me see. Screen capture, that's what I need right there. See if I have it there. Here's what I need right here. Let me try this again. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, while I do this again. See here. Tell you what, let me knock this off and this off. Let me try this one more time. And then if not, I'll get back to where I was at. There's the screen capture. That might be what I'm looking for right there. Well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring. You mean like Democrats?
Not playing. Anyway, the person that I was talking about was Bob Hope. And I don't
Hey
know
folks, this
why
is
it
Jody.
won't let me
I'm
play
down here
it
at the
out
hay
here,
barn
but
this morning.
He describes
Just
them as
wanted to
zombies.
touch
Play
base with
right.
all my customers out there.
Yeah.